Have you ever thought about starting your own podcast? When we were trying to get this podcast off the ground, we had so many questions. How do we record an episode? Where do we find background music? How do we get our show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and all the other places that people like to listen? And where do we find advertisers? The answer to every one of these questions is really simple. Anchor. Anchor is a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, distributing, and monetizing your podcast. And best of all, it's 100% free and 100% ridiculously easy to use. Anchor makes it simple to get up and running. You can upload and schedule your podcasts ahead of time. It publishes to all the major podcast platforms. You can easily check your stats. I could go on, but instead, why don't you go and get started? Go to anchor.fm/start to join the e-commerce minute and a diverse community of podcasters already using Anchor. That's anchor.fm/start. We can't wait to hear your podcast.
It's the E-commerce Minute, your daily dose of e-commerce, tech, and retail news with your hosts, Bart Mraz and John Suter. The E-commerce Minute is a production of Sumo Heavy, a digital commerce consulting firm in Brooklyn, New York, and Philadelphia. Find us on the web at sumoheavy.com. The E-commerce Minute, episode 316.
In today's episode, FedEx Ground now running 6 days a week.
Yay. FedEx has announced that they will be expanding their ground operations to add a 6-day to their delivery schedule. The move is in response to the growing demands being put on the service due to the explosive growth in e-commerce, as well as the upcoming holiday season. Currently, FedEx delivers Tuesday through Saturday and only adds 6- and 7-day schedules during peak season, which traditionally begins on Black Friday, although many retailers are rolling back the season to start at Thanksgiving Day. FedEx is expecting record volume this season and plans to hire 55,000 temporary workers in addition to their current staff of 425,000 to meet the demand. The rise in demand for e-commerce goes beyond peak, said Raj Subramanian, FedEx's chief marketing and communications officer, in a statement. It's a year-round phenomenon, and we are ready to meet that demand. FedEx Ground has operated 6- and 7-day operations during the holidays for several years as e-commerce has grown, and thanks to strategic investments in our network, we are now well-positioned to operate 6 days a week in the U.S. all year to best serve the rapidly growing demand. FedEx has seen service demand explode over the last decade. 10 years ago, the record volume day was 12 million shipments. Today, FedEx handles more than 14 million shipments on an average day. How about that?
Well, how about that? I mean, they have to do it. UPS will probably not do it because their corporate structures are different, unfortunately. So FedEx Ground, if you didn't know this, and I think it's still like this, is actually you can be a freelancer or a franchise.
Really?
Yeah. So Ground, I believe it's still like that. Don't quote me on that. I have to look it up again. But I remember it used to be that the Ground side, you can actually become a franchisee of it.
I did not know that.
Whereas UPS is fully union-based.
Right. I talk to my UPS driver all the time. He tells me all kinds of stories.
So this is kind of interesting. They kind of have to do it. I think the only person that does Sundays, I think, is good old USPS and Amazon. Amazon's actually doing its thing too, which we talked about.
We did a story recently about Amazon starting their own delivery service. And of course, you got the innocuous, no, we're not going to compete. But from what I hear, they're buying like thousands of trucks now to start their own fleet because I guess they don't want to wait until FedEx and UPS says, OMG, can't deliver your packages. They're going to be there and they're going to say, never mind, we got this. They're going to come.
Right. They're doing, obviously, for cost. They're doing for delivery. They want those packages to be there in those 2 days. Like, they're doing all those things, which is fantastic. And I think you and I have talked about this where we've ordered something from Amazon and we're pretty sure Amazon is delivering it because you get updates on where the package is, where the truck is, where, if it's delivered. Then you get a picture of when it's being delivered. And then you get a text message, hey, it's coming today. And then it's delivered today.
We just had this conversation off air, but it's funny. It's like, ding, your coffee is going to be delivered today. Ding, the truck is around the corner.
No, you're right. That was my favorite one on Sunday. It was, the truck is 3 deliveries away from you.
And if you click on the text, it shows you a map and it shows you how close it is to your house. And then, of course, you get the ding, your coffee's at the door. Ding, hey, here's a package of the coffee sitting at your door. You better come get your coffee. Ding, your coffee was delivered at 3:00.
I hope you wanted that coffee.
And then you go check your email. It's like, your package was delivered. I'm like, I know. And it seems like a bit of an overkill, but what did you call it? Chain of custody?
Yes. You know what? It's better than something from USPS. Sometimes you're like, oh, your package has not been picked up. Oh, it's been delivered.
Well, here's my favorite, because I use the eBay example because I still sell some stuff on eBay, and it's like, or even if you order something, it's like tracking number. I just laugh, and it just says in transit. In transit. And then it's like delivered. And it's like still in transit, and then it's like delivered. I'm like, I don't have it. I don't have it.
Or I'm already eating it, and you're just it was delivered 2 days.
That's the other thing, right? Right. It's like I've already eaten it and thrown it in the trash. It's like your package is being delivered today.
And you're like, no.
No, the worst is it's like, oh, let me check where are my pants at in transit. So this, let's get back to this story. FedEx going 6 days a week is actually really good for small businesses because they don't have to worry about that gap. They have that extra. They now have that extra day. I mean, it's going to be great for e-commerce because obviously stuff's going to get there. I don't know if it's going to get there faster this year, but at least they can meet the demand, which seems to grow exponentially each year and does not seem to be slowing down.
Correct.
All right, that's a good story. You got anything else, Bart?
Nope.
All right, that's your e-commerce minute for today. Full show notes are at ecommerceminute.co. We'll see you on the internet tomorrow. That's it for today's show. If you like the show, do us a favor and subscribe or leave us a review on iTunes. And don't forget, you can now listen to the e-commerce minute on your Amazon device. Just add e-commerce minute to your flash briefing. And finally, if you have a comment or suggestion or just want to say hi, find us on social media at Sumo Heavy.